Welcome back to some more MX versus ATV Reflex. Before we get into the video or talking about the track or any of that stuff or whatever we're going to talk about today, I was kind of curious. A lot of people ask this question. Exactly how did you find this channel? What did you find it on? Did you find it through a Supercross Encore video, MXGP2, MXGP3, MXGP1, Ride 2? You know, I'm really curious to see what video you were watching when you decided to join this community. So thank you again for joining the community, by the way, and checking out this video. But that's just something. Let me know down in the comments if you remember the exact video. Even that'd be kind of cool, just to kind of gauge where a lot of you are coming from. And I've never really asked that question before, so it might be kind of neat to sift through some of those comments. But today we are playing Reflex, as you can see, and we are checking out this custom track by Darkslides19. It is called A Sketch of a Supercross Track. And it's been around for a while. I'm kind of late to the party on this. I know there's been tons of videos made on it, but it's just something I always wanted to play and never had the time. And I always say that. I always say I never have the time to do what I wanted to do, blah, 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 blah. Well, today we had the time. Actually, by the time you see this video, I'm sure I'll have had it recorded for probably like a month, maybe longer. And it's really easy since we do post commentaries now on Reflex. And I think I'm going to kind of start moving towards that kind of like setup with Reflex a little bit. More post commentaries, less live commentary. I'll still do live commentaries on things, but with Reflex, I don't know. I just kind of like playing the game, hitting record, enjoying playing the track, and just not thinking about what I want to say, you know. And I also kind of like but having something to talk about in particular. And we can do that live, but I don't know. I think the gameplay is a little bit better if I'm not trying to do the commentary as well. So Darkslides19, A Sketch of a Supercross Track, really awesome. It's actually more complicated than you would think, okay? So we butcher the section sometimes, and we did 10 laps, and the longer races, it's harder to go perfect, especially if you're a very casual Reflex player like myself. But the track is more complicated than you might think. Yes, you can huck these huge lines and all this, but for instance, right here, we slow up, and we have the double into the corner. You could have hopped off the table, had the single into the corner, which I am fully sure is definitely slower. And this is a really big section. You can basically jump in, jump out. Let's see, is this another spot? Yeah, right here. See, we hop off the table and then hop into the corner. Instead, you could have slowed up a little bit, kind of faced into the double into the corner, but you still could have doubled it. And I think that's actually quicker. I think that's how we turn our better lap time, which is like a 41-second lap time. I think that's how we do that. So It is a little more technical than you would think if you're paying attention to it. It's not just, you know, throttle wide open and jump these huge lines. And it's scaled really well. It's not like these huge, obnoxious jumps. It's just a really, I don't know, very original idea. I mean, just really creative. It's probably one of the most creative tracks I've ever seen. I mean, we have these huge tracks with these huge lines and go on forever and ever and ever and have all this environment. Well, this to me is about as creative as you can get. So Darkslides19, sick job, dude. I know you've been making tracks for a while and you're one of the big hitters with the track making. This is awesome. You know, I don't know what else I can say about it. It's not a review. It's just, I've said this multiple times. I play tracks I like. I don't play tracks I don't like. Now, that doesn't mean if I didn't play the track, I don't like it. I'm just not as into Reflex as I used to be. I'm not in the the hardcore PC gaming community of it. I know some people that make tracks, hang out with them a little bit, but I don't. I played it so much on console. I never got into it hardcore on PC. I just kind of like checking out custom tracks. And so this one is on Darkslides19's website. Go check it out. The link is down in the description, guys. If you have PC, definitely go check out his website. Some cool stuff there. He's moved a lot of stuff from Reflex Central. You can also still go there. It's just not, I don't know, that website's weird now. You can still navigate through it, but it's not complicated. It's just awkward. And he has it so nicely put together, and you can tell he put a lot of work into it. So awesome job, dude. Awesome track. I love it. Now, another thing, what I kind of want to do is when we do these post commentaries with Reflexes, have something, you know, we can talk about, something that might drive some discussion. And what I was thinking about today with the rest of this video, basically the other half of this video, is who do you think the GOAT is? Now think about that. Who do you think the GOAT is? Who's he's the greatest of all time. I know Ricky Carmichael, a lot of people say that, and I actually am going to stick with that and say that in my personal opinion, I think it's Ricky. And I'm saying combined Supercross, motocross. I'm not talking just Supercross, because I know Jeremy McGrath is like 72 wins, 7 titles, blah 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 blah. Amazing rider, but let's combine outdoors and indoors. I think Ricky, I don't know how many outdoor titles he has. I mean, I could figure it out easy enough, but I don't know these numbers off the top of my head. I'm not like this motocross, supercross guru that knows all these information. I know he has like 150 plus combined wins though. McGrath, like I said, has like 72. I don't know how many outdoor he has. I think he's probably got an outdoor title. I don't know if he has more than one. I know he kind of moved to like just supercross. And it could be anybody. I mean, you can go back to the Bob Hanna days, the Jeff Stantons. I mean, you can go back as far as you want. Roger DeCoster. You can go MXGP, European stuff. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's whatever. I know, what was his name? Stefan Everett? Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. I don't really follow GP. Cairoli, I know those guys could be a lot of people's GOAT as well. They don't have to have competed against each other. I mean, a little bit during like motocross destinations, but it could be anybody. It doesn't just have to be like AMA stuff. It can be anywhere in the world. But I'm still gonna stick with Carmichael. I believe that guy was the GOAT. I mean, if I look back at all the things that he had done, I remember when they were moving towards the 4-strokes, the 450s and everything, and he was still riding this super, come on, some of you know what I'm talking about, this super awkward looking CR250. The bars were like rolled back, completely flat. Seat was like cut away, subframe cut down. Thing had like 60 horsepower. Unbelievable. And I remember he still was competing with the 4-stroke guys for a while. He never really got hurt. I mean, I know he sat out like an entire season when I think he like elected to have knee surgery or something, and he sat out that entire season and then came back and like went undefeated outdoors. I know he went undefeated outdoors at least once, maybe even twice. It might have even been back to back. I do not remember exactly, but when he finally got on that 450, it was like, I mean, he was still kind of dominating on his 250, but it's just when he got on his 450, it was just complete domination. I know some people say like James Stewart, Chad Reed, Ryan Villapoto, Ryan Dungey, and I understand those people have a lot of wins and a lot of championships, but the longevity that Carmichael was able to have and the wins he was able to rack up and the people he was able to compete against. I mean, he competed against a lot of the best riders to have ever rode, so I think that's something that needs to be taken into consideration as well. And I know some people bring up the whole Eli Tomac. I strongly disagree with that. I don't understand why he would be. He's great. But what does he have to show that? He has an outdoor championship. He might have a lights championship or a 250, whatever it used to be called, lights. I don't exactly know. Like I said, guys, I don't have these numbers on the top of my head or anything. But I don't think he's near, like, even in the ballpark of the conversation. I mean, these have got to be guys that have racked up championship after championship after championship, win after win after win. Tomac caught his hot streak last year, kind of carried it in. I don't know when this video is going to go up exactly. And he was always been good. And I'm not saying that he won't be someday, but at least as of right now, I don't see how. And if you have someone in mind, let me know why you think they're the greatest. Not to have arguments. I'm just curious. I think it's cool when we see what everybody thinks, because I think there's a lot of people that can make the case for the GOAT, the greatest of all time. It's just, what in your opinion makes them the greatest of all time? That's more what I want to see. Who do you think is the greatest of all time, and why do you think they're the greatest of all time? I think Ricky Carmichael is. There's a lot of people. I mean, it's kind of close for me. I think that Stefan Everett has tons of championships too. I think he could be in the conversation. Cairoli, I think, could kind of be in the conversation. There's a lot of people I think that could be in the conversation for the greatest of all time, but I'm gonna stick with Carmichael. I think he's being able to watch him ride and grow up and watch him ride, but yet knowing the guys that were before him, I'm still gonna stick with that, I think. So curious to see what you guys think. Before we wrap up here, Dark Slides 19, this track is awesome, dude. Seriously, this track is awesome. The creativity and originality in it is amazing. It's cool to see original ideas and not just see people rip off other people's ideas. And call them their own, you know what I mean? So Dark Slides, good job. I love the track. I love the stuff you're doing. And guys, go check out his website if you're on PC. He has all the tracks there pretty much. But I think that's going to wrap up the video. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately and on the Reflex series in general. And again, if you didn't catch it at the beginning of the video, kind of curious to see how you found this channel through Supercross, Encore, Reflex, GP, whatever it may be. Let me know down in the comments if you feel like it. And until the next video, take it easy.